Morning, Kath. You're up early. Wish Pat would hurry up and get out of that bathroom. Kath, you know your brown blusher? I don't suppose I could borrow some, could I?
Yeah, of course, but I thought today was a school day.
So what's that got to do with it?
Look, do you think everyone's going to want breakfast?
You don't have to wait on them. You're a guest.
I know, but I want to make myself useful. I feel bad enough it is kicking Simon out of his room and getting in your way like this.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for you, I'd be in a lot more trouble than I already am. It's not fair, you know. Why does he come down harder on me than he does Ricky? All I did was walk home from the disco. Anyone would think he found me selling myself up west or something.
You can't blame your dad for worrying, though.
Oh, I don't blame him for that. I just blame him for stopping my allowance and keeping me in. Sharina, I feel sorry for that. I mean, her dad's only trying to break us up.
Yeah, but you're mates, aren't you?
Yeah, thinks the butchers are a bad influence, though. It's all Ricky's fault. He started it. Kath, don't suppose I could borrow a couple of quid, could I?
Go on, it's in my bag by the bed. And the blusher's in my makeup case.
Kath, you are an angel.
What's that young madam up to?
Oh, nothing. She's a good kid. They talk to you, don't they, girls? Not like boys. Which reminds me, I've got to go and see Ian, you know. I feel so awkward going over Pauling's. I keep putting it off.
It ain't just Ian. You can't keep Pete hanging about much longer.
Look, I hope you don't mind me interfering with your kitchen, pal. I just want to earn me keep.
Kath, you've got to make your mind up one way or the other.
I can't tell you how good it is to be back in the square, even like this.
Oh, thanks a million.
Oh, you know what I mean. When I rang you and you said I could stop here, it was like being let out of prison. I suppose Den must feel like that, eh? Hope he's all right. God, that was another shock. I feel so out of it, so cut off. I mean, that pub in the city's only a couple of miles away, but it might as well have been on the moon. It's another world. I never felt so lonely and out of it in all my life.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Manners like pigs, eh? No, worse, pigs don't chuck their food at each other. I thought when you told me, I thought that's not going to do her much good being surrounded by a load of yuppies, all behaving like greedy kids.
Yeah, and their language. I'd rather work in a boxing pub over Bermondsey. At least there you get treated like a lady, even if a lot of them are villains. Do you know, I nearly got the sack because I smacked some bloke who tried to grope me. They told me afterwards he was a judge. Thank God Pete never found out I was working and come in there. He'd have committed murder. He looked nearly out of ketchup.
Kath, if you ain't going back to him, you've got to let him down gently. Well, he's as happy as Larry right now. What else can you expect you coming back like that?
Well, I wasn't to know I was going to smack into his birthday party, was I?
Oh, I should have told you they was having it the night before. I feel sorry for him, Kath. Isn't that ironic? I walked out on him the first time. You must think I've got a hell of a cheek.
No, of course I don't. Oh, you took me in, didn't you? All right, Pat. I'll be honest with you. No, I'm sure. I want a divorce.
It's a leaving present for the college. We've all got to bring something. You don't want to show me up in front of the whole team, do you?
Oh, all right, but don't tell your father.
You don't believe him, do you?
Who saw you?
I can't believe the way you always get away with it.
I don't. You're the one that's daddy's
Oh, sure
girl.
I.
Oh, pack it in the pair of yous. There you go.
Is that all?
That's all you're getting now, out. Kids.
I remember it was like with Ian. Mind you, it took me ages to get used to the quiet when he left home.
Yeah, them two ain't so bad.
I suppose it was after that the rot set in.
Yeah, well, at least with kids you've got something to get up in the morning for. Spent too many mornings with just these for company. Or worse, trying to work out how to get rid of whoever I brought home the night before.
I'll hoover the bedrooms for you, shall I?
No, Kath, you won't. You'll sit down and have another cup of tea. There's a lot of things we ain't talked about yet.
You're really happy now, aren't you?
I won't go so far as to say that. I've got to knock these on the head. My chest is getting terrible.
Ain't the Pat I used to know. When I think of the energy I wasted hating you.
Yeah, well, you had reason, didn't you? I'll say this, though. I'm all settled now. I don't want to say any more than that because somebody up there might hear and they've got a habit of making the sky fall in on your head if you do. Well, that reminds me. Get on the brewery about the state of that roof.
I learnt a lot about those sort of mornings the last couple of months. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Anything tasty?
No, not the blokes. Not that I didn't have offers, but... well, it weren't any good. I don't want Pete, but I don't want anyone else either. I just feel sort of dead inside. Oh, I don't know what I want.
Neither did I till Frank come back in my life and give me so many problems. I ain't got time to think about it, Kat. It'll sort itself out.
Will it? Do you know, when I heard Pete was in all that trouble, all I wanted to do was come back here and help him. But I knew if I came back because of pity, then, well, I'd be lost and I'd never get out again. You must think I'm a right bitch. It's fair enough, I suppose. That's what I used to think about you.
Yeah, well, I've learned this. People you think you hate are often more use to you than your friends. I learned that from Beale.
Look, I'll start looking for a bedsit, Pat. I shouldn't have put all this on you, or even come back to the square for that matter. It's just that, well, this is the only place I really feel at home.
Kath, you can stay here as long as you want. You can pay me B&B rates. Well, that way you have to do something. You'll have to find work to get the rent together, right?
I suppose I could open the stall again if I bought ready-made stock and seconds and that. I've still got a bit saved up. I miss the market like mad. It was horrible being indoors all day in that pub. Get used to fresh air, didn't you?
You don't mind giving us a hand if we get stuck there, do you?
No, of course I don't. I'd be glad to. But what about Simon? I mean, I've kicked him out of his room, haven't I?
Simon can like it or lump it. Well, he's a grown man, Kath. I spoiled him long enough. It's time he realised there's better things to life than just drifting about the way he does. Anyway, I'm talking economics here. With Frank's new airbrain scheme, we're going to need all the cash we can rake in.
Brace yourself, girl. It's all signed and sealed.
Do what?
Well, it's a gentleman's agreement anyway. Walter's willing to back me. Oh, and I trust him anywhere. As long as he gets his cut, and he will, darling, we can't lose.
What you on about?
Look, Walter gets old bangers in part exchange, right? Now, he doesn't want to spoil the looks of his showroom, so he's willing to let me sell them. Now, listen to this. I've got the car space, I've got the cars, and I've got me wits. Oh, baby, it's all coming back to me now. Kathy, Pete gave me this to give to you. Now, who can I get to do me a sign?
You do this overnight job. I want to see the colour of your money in my hand as soon as you get back, right?
Trust me, it's a cash job. It'll go back straight into the business, I promise.
Yeah, better.
Told you.
How long's it going to take you to drive to Scotland then?
I don't know, 5, 6 hours.
Oh, yeah?
You all right?
Yeah. Thanks for your letter. A long time since you wrote to me.
Yeah. It's easier sometimes than talking. I mean, I didn't want to find myself saying the wrong things. You know, like I usually do.
Something about your court case?
I'm on bail. But that's my problem, Kev. I mean, I brought that on myself.
Oh, sorry when I heard about it. I think you're right, you know, Pete. I suppose we do have a lot to sort out.
Yeah.
Why don't you come over to the pub? I don't really want to come to the flat, if you don't mind.
No, I'll take you out to dinner. Anywhere you like.
No. Well, not yet, anyway. Let's just take it slow, eh? Like we said.
Fine by me.
I'll ask Pat if it's all right. I'm sure it will be. See ya.
Well, if it isn't the runaway wife, I heard you were back.
Donna, you look awful.
Oh, what a pity. Haven't you made Pete suffer enough yet? Have you come back to gloat over what you've reduced him to?
What's the matter with you?
I've got nothing to say to you. I'm actually better now, but it's no thanks to you.
Donna,
What did you ever do for me? Why don't you just clear off again? We don't want you round here.
Oh, hi, Kath. Sorry to make you jump. You look miles away.
No, love. I'll make you a cup of tea.
No, I'll do it. Bad news?
No, I was just reading a letter from Pete. It's weird getting a letter from someone you've been married to for years.
Yeah, but I wouldn't exactly know about that one, would I?
No, of course you wouldn't. Sorry. I'm being a right pain, aren't I?
No, you're not. I like talking to you. I mean, you don't assume I'm only 15, I know nothing. My dad does. I mean, Michelle was pregnant at my age.
Well, that's hardly a recommendation, is it?
You wouldn't catch me like that, though. I mean, I'm not that stupid. You got married when you were quite young, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. It's all I wanted then.
Not what you want now, though, is it? I mean, you wouldn't be leaving him.
No.
You're feeling guilty, aren't you, because of that letter? It was all the trouble he got in when you went away.
He's a nice man, though, Diane. That don't go away, no matter what. I don't want us not to be friends, but... Oh, I don't know.
But you don't want to spend the rest of your life with him, right? Well, I mean, why should you? When something's over, it's over, Kath.
I keep thinking that maybe I shouldn't have come back here. It only makes it worse for him.
You was much right to be here if that's what you want. I mean, you belong as much as he does.
Pat said I can have a room, you know, like permanent, bed and breakfast.
That's brilliant. I mean, you are going to say yes, aren't you? Oh, Kathy, you know on Saturday night, do you think I've brought that white lacy jumper?
You're not allowed out Saturday night.
I'll have got round him by then, please.